Hi, this is Rachel with Blessed Beyond Measure, and today we're going to be making black-eyed peas and cornbread. And this is normally a staple that's on most tables for New Year's. So let's go over the ingredients. We have our black eyes, we have a leftover ham hock or ham bone from Christmas, we have some chicken stock, some bacon, we have an onion, some garlic cloves, bay leaves, salt and pepper, water, and a little bit of vegetable oil. And today we're going to be making ours in the Instant Pot. You can certainly make this on top of the stove. You would have to let your peas soak overnight so that they would be tender enough, and they would probably take, I would say, about 3 hours to cook on the stove after you've done that. But if you cook this in the Instant Pot, this will probably be done in about 30 minutes. So this is the approach I like to take. Most people have these Instant Pots nowadays or multi-cookers, so this is a great tool to have. But like I said, if you don't have one, you can certainly just cook it on the stove. So let's get started. First thing we're going to do is we're going to chop up our onion and our garlic. And I'm going to use about half of this onion. It calls for a medium-sized onion, but this one's pretty large. And I like to make crisscross slits in my onion, so when I dice it up, it's really easy and it's already done. All right, that looks good. Okay. Let's go ahead and get our Instant Pot turned on. We're going to put this on the saute mode, and we're going to put it, let's see, we'll leave it at about 30 minutes. I'll put some vegetable oil inside. And we're going to go ahead and cook our onions and our bacon together. And you don't want to cook the bacon all the way, you just want to cook both of them to where they're lightly browned. Okay, this take just a few minutes to get heated up. And we'll go ahead and chop up our garlic cloves. And the easiest way that I have found to peel a garlic clove is to put it on the cutting board with your knife and give it a good whack, and your garlic clove will come right out. They slide right out. We'll go ahead and mince these up. And I'll have all of the measurements in the description, so you don't have to worry about that right at the moment. Okay, easy as that. We'll let our onions and our bacon get crisp up a little bit, and then I'll meet you right back. Okay, so I wanted to bring you in a little bit closer so you could see what I was talking about when I said getting the bacon just a little bit crisp, but not completely done, and the onions as well. So now we're going to go ahead and add our garlic, and we're going to let that cook for just another minute. And then we'll add our final ingredients. And while that was cooking, I did take the opportunity to go ahead and rinse my beans. A lot of times when you buy beans in a package like that, you'll find beans that are bad, or you'll find little rocks. So it's always good to rinse them and go through and pick out all the bad stuff. All right, I can smell the garlic, so we'll go ahead and add our other ingredients. We'll put our ham bone in, our 3 bay leaves, 4 cups of chicken broth, which happens to be this whole container. It's 32 ounces. Okay, we'll add 2 cups of water. Smells good already. And then we'll add a teaspoon of salt and half a teaspoon of black pepper. Okay, and finally our beans. Give it a little stir. Okay, and we'll put our lid back on. Helps if you put it on the right way. Okay, so we'll cancel, and then we will put it on manual, and we're going to cook this for 25 minutes. We're going to put it on sealing. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this cook for 25 minutes, and then I'm going to let it do a natural release for about 15 minutes, and then we'll take the lid off and see what it looks like. So in the meantime, I'm going to get this cleaned up, and I'll get our ingredients out for our cornbread. So I'll meet you right back. Okay, so welcome back. We have all the ingredients here to make our cornbread. We have some yellow cornmeal, some flour, some sugar, and that sugar is optional. I know a lot of people don't like a sweet cornbread. Our family does, so you can definitely take that out if you don't want to use it. We have some vegetable oil, an egg, we have milk, and a little bit of baking powder, and our salt and pepper. So let's get this combined. We're going to add our dry ingredients first. And this is 1 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour, 3/4 cups of cornmeal, 1/4 cup of granulated sugar, and 2 teaspoons of our baking powder. I did go ahead and preheat the oven to 400 degrees, and I have a cast iron skillet that's on the stove that has just a little bit of oil, vegetable oil in the bottom of it, and I have it in the bottom of it, and I have it heating. This is going to make a crunchy crust, and that's how we've always enjoyed having our cornbread. So we'll get to that in just a minute. So let's get this combined. All right, and now we're going to add our wet ingredients. So here I have a 1/4 cup of vegetable oil. I have 1 egg and milk. This is a cup of milk, and it's best if you have your dairy products at room temperature. All right, we'll get this mixed up. And you don't want to over mix your batter, you just want to mix it until it's just combined. Okay, I'll take you over to the stove and show you what I have going on over here. Okay, so a good way to check and see if your oil is hot enough is to put a wooden spoon in the middle of it, and you'll see the bubbles start to form, so you know it's hot. So I take a little bit of the cornmeal and I just do a light dusting in the bottom of my pan, and that's going to toast up for just a second. That was probably about 1/8 of a cup. And then I'll go ahead and pour my batter on top. This recipe was given to me by my husband's grandmother several years ago, and she's the one that taught me how to do the crust on the bottom. All right, and our oven is already preheated to 400. So I'll turn this off and we'll get it in the oven and we'll let this cook for probably about 20-25 minutes. Just want to keep an eye on it depending on your oven. Okay guys, we're back. I let my cornbread cook for 25 minutes in the oven, and take a look at how golden and crispy that crust is on the bottom. That's exactly how we like it. And our black eyed peas, we let those cook for 25 minutes, and they've been sitting here and did their natural release for, it's actually been about 20-25 minutes. So let's take a look. Looks good. Let's fish out our bay leaves. And we'll get our ham bone out also. This smells amazing. See, the meat just fell right off of that bone. All right. Let's give it a stir. Scoop us up a little taste. We'll cut into our cornbread. Let's give it a taste. The peas are so good. You can really taste that bacon flavor, and that's because we put bacon and the ham bone in there, so that strong flavor is coming across. It's really good. Let's taste our cornbread. It's got that crunchy bottom that I like. Okay guys, so give this recipe a try. Leave me a comment and let me know what your favorite New Year's recipes are. And I will have the recipe in the description. It's going to be in the bottom right corner right below the video. So you can click on that and get all the recipe measurements and everything. Today I want to leave you with Luke chapter 13 verse 34, where Jesus talks about loving one another. So I encourage you to reach out to your family and friends, your neighbor, and just see how they're doing and if you can lend a helping hand. We'll see you next time. Thank you.